This time on Custom Works, I'm stuck in the meat wagon. Okay, and so this time on Custom Works, we're getting that last bit of stainless steel in the back of the meat wagon. It's huge, it's unwieldy, and the shape's not square and it's got a curve in it. So that's going to be interesting. And also, we're going to finally get the coffee machine into the meat wagon. I can't tell you how long and difficult this has been. Like, you got the gas, you got the water, you got the electricity, all of that to get right. It's a nightmare. But anyway, let's get to the workshop, let's get it done. So, we've made a template for inside the meat wagon, and we've got to cut it out of that super expensive, super hard to get, turned stainless steel. Some of the edges we've made up in tape to make it nicely accurate. I've doubled the tape up on the edges. And what we're going to do is lay this on that sheet of stainless, get the plasma, cut it out, and then bond it in the wagon. This is it's a big bit and a big thing. So, that's what I'm going to do. Right, and so in the back of the meat wagon, Hot Rod legend Lee Cox has now done some wiring here, and we've trunked it in, and this is for the hand wash that has to go here by law. This is for a plug socket we're going to fit in the back so you can charge your phone or whatever you want to do. I know, blend them things that makes that thing, the frothiness. So we've done that, and now what we're going to do, we're going to cover all of this in contact adhesive. We've cut our piece of stainless, and then we're just going to bring it in here, and well, we'll paint the back of that as well in it, and we're just going to stick it in, and it's going to be brilliant. That's what's going to happen, I'm sure. We're not going to be messing about with stuff and everything goes wrong. This is going to work. So yeah, stainless steel on here, and then we will, that was the drill being knocked over, and then we'll sort of pack it in with some ratchet-y, yeah, something like that. And this is the last bit of stainless that's going in here. I think I reserve the right to add more stainless, but other than some little bits and bobs, this is about it. And then we can really start bringing this to a conclusion in here, to a finish, doing all the little bits and everything sort of dialed in and ready for the meat. And here is our piece of stainless. We have some holes in for that wiring that we just saw. Got a hole in there. Just cut this out with the plasma cutter very carefully, then clean the edge up. But yeah, so we're going to get the glue on, bond that in, clamp it into place. We're getting close, people. We're getting really close. Stick all of this stainless steel onto the walls of the meat wagon. I'm using this Evo stick, what's it, 5-8. Good for laminating and stuff. But as always pour it into a cup and then use it and keep this bit nice. So I'm using this in there, paint on with a brush. We've left the contact adhesive to dry for sort of 10-15 minutes. And it's totally dry now, so we're going to put it in. Now this is one hit and it sticks. My God, this stuff grabs like crazy. Hot Rod legend Lee Cox and myself are going to try and get it in. Fingers crossed. It's not just that this was quite an expensive piece. You know, it's probably about £120 or something. But we had to drive, Hot Rod legend Lee Cox had to drive for a whole day to go and get it. That's how far the shop is. So if this goes wrong, yeah, it's going to be a right old pain. But anyway, it's not going to go wrong. It's all going to fit. So let's do it. Yes, it went in, it fitted and everything. And we've got quite a gap at the bottom, but we're going to have a trim along there. And we go. I know it's a little bit at the end needs trimming, but as far as things go, that went pretty good. To wedge it in, we use these things, they're meant for holding plasterboard on ceilings. And funny enough, I actually bought them for holding plasterboard on ceilings. But they work in a million good ways to hold things like this. Well worth buying. So we're one step closer to the edge, and we're about to actually get stuff finished. So next up, we're going to put the coffee machine in. But the coffee machine has like gas, water and electricity going to it. You know, like the trilogy of nightmares. We're going to get that in next. This is it. This is the moment. The meat wagon actually gets its ridiculously expensive coffee machine. For years, I've drove along the motorway and had to stop for expensive coffees. But now, all of that is in the past. I've just spent thousands of pounds building this truck and then thousands of pounds buying a coffee machine. I am no longer enslaved to Starbucks, Costa, Bill's coffee van, Bob's coffee van. All of those. I'm no longer a slave to that regime of coffee. Got my own coffee machine in the back of my car. What are you going to do? Nothing. So, we're actually going to fit it in the back of the wagon today. And I've got to say, it is ludicrously heavy. So, we're going to get it round, and then Kirsty's going to film as me and Hot Rod legend Lee Cox try to manhandle this thing into its hole. So then, this is said hole that the coffee machine's going to go in. Everything's been sealed, everything's nice, everything's finished in here. We've got the fans for the cooling and stuff. So all we've got to do now is slide the coffee machine in there, and that's good. But we only have the meat hatch to bring it through. It's too big to come through the door. So we're going to get this fully open. We're going to try and get it on air, and then arch it around and put it in there. We did test this before. It does fit, but my God, it is tight, like super tight. So fingers crossed, here we go. Right, so we've got a lot of pipes to get out of the coffee machine into like the attic space where literally up here is like where it all happens. So now I'm gonna have to get in the cab and through the tiny hole into the attic space. It's not funny. It's not funny. This is the hole that I've got to get through. So let's have a go at that. Hello, I'm Dimon. Hey, how's everyone doing? I'm stuck in a hole, of course. This time on Custom Works, I'm stuck in a hole.
Well, I'll let you come and have a look when you're around.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Leg. Oh my God. Ta-da! Finally, it's in and it looks amazing. Great. That all went really well. A lot of teamwork there to make the pipes come through. But we got there. We've got it in and it all works. And this sliding thing takes the weight really nicely. So now all we've got to do, well, Hot Rod legend Lee Cox's got to do, is link up all of these pipes. And there's gas, high pressure water, 2 lots of power. Crazy machine, crazy machine. But yeah, get all that done, and then we could enjoy a whatever this makes, a cup of coffee. So we have to have a separate hand washing facility because it's the law, you know, hygiene and stuff. So this has just got one big wire going to it that then runs to the inverter, and that powers this at 240 watt. You just put water in the top and then hot water comes out of here, it collects, but then we can chuck it down in this sink, the lower sink, to get rid of that, and then that goes to the tank that's underneath the van, which I think we might have looked at a couple of weeks ago. There's a tank underneath, so when this is in operation we leave nothing drops on the floor, not one drop of water, no litter, no nothing, and it's how it's got to be. So that's the hand washer. Not the nicest thing, and I've got to say, by the time this is finished, this is going to be so slick and nice, I think this is going to stick out, but it's the law. So it's got to be there. Even got the plug in there, we've got 240 volts there, and we've got USB charging as well. So it's all coming on really good. Got to say, getting that in the position and this getting the wiring through was an absolute pain, but it's done now. It's all looking good, and you know what? We're just moving into that final, is it called a furlong, I think, and just tidying up all the little bits, and the inside of this is going to be like a sci-fi catering dream. So then, that's it for this week. And once again, you know, all of the admins you've got to do. You've got to click the bell icon. You've got to leave a comment down below. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Doesn't matter. Share the video with other people. Give a big thumbs up. Do all of those things because it'll help me out a little bit. So that's it for this week. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Over the next 7 days, I'm going to be going crazy working on the 60s truck and the meat wagon. And we'll have another programme next week. So until then, I think, don't forget, you can buy a t-shirt, you know, just mentioning. Not that we've got loads I'm trying to sell. Anyway, I thank you very much and good night.